So I've gotten to the point where I have pretty nice coverage all around. I'm satisfied with how much hot glue I've placed on there. And like I said, it's not perfect, but it's not supposed to be perfect. These are just like vertical swipes up and down my cardboard paper towel roll budget man's tree. So, like I said before, so notice I got some holes right there, and that's not really secure. So, what I like to do, like I said before, man, bunch of I just dump a bunch of hot glue right inside there. So just check this out, people. I just like literally just dumping hot glue all in there because I don't want that to come out, you know, in storage or, during a shoot or whatever. I don't want that to come out. And these holes really don't matter because that's going to be black anyway. So it's just going to look like it's a part of the tree. So I'm just dumping hot glue all inside of there. And you can even see that some is starting to seep through. That's fine because no one's going to see the inside of the tree, unless you're a squirrel or something like that. Then I feel sorry for you. I just dumped hot glue all inside your house, covered your nuts up. Oh, giggity. But that's that, right? So I'm going to let that dry and I will show you what's next. All right. A little bit more. Okay, so you guys are going to be so like surprised at how easy this is. I mean, it's really easy. It's really simple. I mean, it takes nothing. So, um, what I got now, I got some basic acrylic paint. This that old the cheap stuff, 35 cent, a dollar, 50 cent. You don't have to get anything expensive. We're not about to paint like a Mona Lisa, or we're not about to put this stuff in an art gallery or anything like that. I got these cheap acrylic paints from like Walmart, Michaels, Hobby Lobby, you name it, you name it. So it doesn't matter, man. Like we're just making trees for us, for our pictures, for our displays. We're not here to impress anybody. I'm not trying to sell these trees. This is just some stuff that's just for me. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but the point is I now have trees and they look good in pictures. That's the point. So check this out. What I do now is I'm going to just take this whole thing right here, and I got on my COVID-19 gloves. I don't want to get too much paint on my hands. So I'm going to take this whole thing right here. I'm going to take my brush, get a little drizzle on my brush, and take some black, and I'm going to coat this whole thing black, like a black washing away, right? Because I want this whole thing to be black so I can then go back over it with some color. So a little bit this brown is cool, but trees aren't cardboard brown. So I got a juicy brush, and I'm just going in, right? And I go vertical. When you go vertical, you only paint the hot glue that you did over it. I'm hitting all the hot glue, like all of my bark, all of my texture when I paint vertical. When I paint horizontal, or like if I dab, I get in between the hot glue. So that's also important. I mean, you can vary your paint strategies or your painting methods, but long story short, you're gonna just cover this bad boy in black, right? And get as much on there as you can. And again, just like with the hot glue, don't be stingy with that paint, man. It was only 35, 45 cents. Go ahead and throw that paint on there. Don't be scared. Do your thing. Don't you even be scared. And if this is getting in and out of focus, you gotta forgive me. I'm not an expert recorder. I just know I want to put this information out there for my peoples. All my action figure collectors who want some good trees in their shots. You got your Samurai Gomez or your G.I. Joe Ninja or your Kung Fu Master. You want to put that bad boy in a nice little forest scene. You can now do that. So I've been messing up here. I can't hold it. I gotta hold it like this. I don't want to hold the actual tree because I'm actually rubbing the paint off. I forgot about that part. Don't hold the tree while you paint it. So now I'm going like I'm dabbing so I can get in between there. Hold my brush a little differently. I want to get in between where I just painted at. So I'm just kind of like scrubbing really hard to get in there. Like I said, long story short, I'm going to cover this whole thing black. All right. I'll be back with that one. Okay. So I got this to the point where I like it. I left some brown in there from the paper towel roll because it's just going to add to that. It's just another layer of color. But most of that, by the time I'm done, most of that will be gone, but it's just another layer of color. And so this next point where you're just stacking these colors on top of each other, it's just trial and error. You know, no tree is perfect, so it doesn't matter too much. But I mean, you're not going to go and just go and get all red and paint your tree red, or get like a bright green and paint your tree bright green. You want to be a little realistic. So when you think about a tree, you think about browns, a little bit of blacks, some grays, some greens because of moss. Dead bark is like a grayish blackish color. So you're just going to just mix all that stuff up. And if you need to just Google a picture of a tree and what it looks like, yeah, do that. But what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to get some brown, and this is actually earth brown, so that works. That's a plus. So I'm going to take some earth brown, just slap it right in the spot my black was, and I'm just going to go over my tree with some earth brown. All right, so get a little bit of color on there. I'm going to paint some happy trees. Just a little bit of color, and I mean, I'm just going at it, right? And then you're going to start to see how the black interacts with the brown and like the color it starts to make. And it's going to just start like coming to life in a way. You know how you like just like stack colors on top of each other, and then you combine that with the hot glue that we already put on there, and you just get like that 3D effect, right? Which is what you're looking for, because you want it to look semi-real. It's not going to look 100% real because it's not a tree, actual tree, but it's going to look semi-real. It's going to look real enough, and that's good for me, right? I'm not a customizer, so no one's buying this. Like I said before, it's going to look real enough. And I'm dabbing now because I want to get some of that brown out that I left behind. So I'm going to dab to like get in between there, in between those little like that right there. I'm gonna try to dab that out with some brown. All right, so boom, got it. And just kind of just swipe, right? So this is all trial and error. There is no oops, I messed up. Yes, not really none of that, right? Because who's gonna say your tree? Oh, trees aren't brown and those colors. Yeah, well, they are where I live at. So shut up. Shut your face, right? So, and the more brown you put on there, the brighter your brown's going to be, and vice versa. Not vice versa, but like whatever color you use, the more of that color you use, the brighter it's going to be. So sometimes what I'll do to make just like vary the colors, I'll hit one spot like that, right? How that's real bright, and then like one spot is like this where it's kind of darker. So, and then boom, I'll do one swipe there. I'll leave it and leave that like a light brown. Then I'll really go hard on a different spot and make it like a darker brown. All right. So I'm going to keep hacking at this, whacking at it, hacking at it, all that kind of good stuff. I'm going to just cut to the chase, and I'm going to see y'all in a minute.